This down as 2025. That was a lapse in memory. All right. Good, good. No questions have been posted, which is fun. So, what have we got? Any questions?
Is this just like an open forum?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. First
So
time.
what? Yeah, yeah. What's your name? Sorry, because I think
I'm
is it?
I'm actually Matt. I work
Yeah,
with
Matt.
Yolanta,
Yeah, cool.
but it doesn't let me change my name.
That's right. Yeah, no worries.
I'm having some issues with basically a Zapier automation based
Yes.
on
Okay.
purchasing a specific ticket. So there's only a few triggers enabled within the Zapier automation.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest struggle I'm having is like we've got two separate types of tickets, a VIP and a GA. And in the Zapier automation, I can trigger based on a ticket purchase, but not based on what type of ticket, which means it would be a general automation, like confirmation that goes out. So in order to avoid that, I'm trying to do tagging. So like in theory, we can tag someone that purchases a GA ticket with GA, and
Mm.
then that trigger in Zapier should work better for me to send the right email to that person. But that trigger doesn't seem to be working as either at all, or I'm not doing it right. The tagging piece.
Yeah, tagging. So, you're using Obvio Marketplace for the purchase, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're then doing, is it using MailChimp? Is it for actually sending the emails out?
Yeah, that's what it should do.
And and do you have another CRM at all, or is like MailChimp is kind of what you're using as a CRM as far as like ongoing, your list management is all MailChimp?
Pretty much, yeah.
Um, okay. So let's see if we can solve the issue. What I will say up first is a couple of things. One is that I don't know if you've heard us talk a little bit about the future direction for marketplace. Our marketplace selling tickets in Ovio um, is is not strong, and the reason for that is that um, we're seeing a lot of people using a CRM for their purchase pages for one, actually, a few key reasons. But one really important reason is to have them opt in to an email list at the time of purchase. It's not something that we can do because we're not managing the list, right? And so when we're looking through the workflow, having someone come to a sign up page, probably just put in their name and email as the first step and accepting the newsletter or signing up to the list, being able to contact them for marketing reasons, and then have them purchase um, is is really valuable. And to have that tied into a CRM that now is able to market to them ongoing um, is is super valuable. So that's a one key reason. The other reason is that we realize that part of the reason that we built Marketplace in the first place was really like never done an event before, don't have CRM in place, just need a place to get money from people and then get the ball rolling and likely then get a CRM and roll it all over there and then start doing it in a way that you would do it at scale, right? Um, that's kind of the thinking behind Marketplace. And what we realize is that actually putting a good CRM in place right at the start is actually worth doing. Um, for one reason I just said, and also because those CRMs, people like Go High Level, or I don't know, all the integrations that we've got, um, will continue to advance the funnel type pages, and things the selling pages and things like that that actually have a process to them. They're continuing to develop those and refine those. That's not our core business. Our core business is about event delivery. It's about when it comes to the show, this is what it's for, right? So, I'm not trying to use this as an excuse. It's actually just giving you kind of background as to where workflow works. Now, the challenge for you also is that MailChimp initially was a newsletter, selling, email list management service. You wouldn't really call it a CRM, um, although people are using it in that way, right? Like, and it has got those extra features on it now, and you can sort of track in an audience, you can have tagging and you can have kind of history and very similar. And you can have actual sales pages and things like that as well. Like I've seen that with MailChimp too. But it's the essence of what it is, I think, is still sort of more about broadcasting emails than being a kind of full customer relationship management system. So there's a couple of challenges there for you in where this sits. Um, so so I say all that almost as a like, by the way, if we're thinking about the future, then um, having that process in the CRM, particularly because of that key thing of having people opt in to marketing emails, will work really well. So now, um, I can look into what Zapier is doing now. Also, Zapier has been a catch-all for us. Initially, Zapier was crucial to what we did because we didn't have direct integrations with systems, right? Whereas we do have um, purpose-built integrations that we've built for different services, and so we're finding that less and less people are using Zapier because they're using something that's talking directly to their CRM, and you see those in the services that we have. Now, MailChimp is one of those, and there is, but the thing is that it really works best in the other direction, coming from MailChimp
Yeah,
to Obvio,
that's
right? And
yeah.
so pushing back out is a challenge. Now, the other thing is, you're kind of getting a history lesson as well. The other thing is, as we built out Obvio, we didn't have a way to email from Obvio. And so MailChimp was an obvious thing to use so that we could send people their login URLs. But then we added being able to send emails directly from Obvio. And so are you doing any of the emailing from Obvio as far as when someone purchases? Are you using the email from Obvio at all there? No.
No, because I don't think like I see within the communication purchase
Mm,
confirmations,
hmm
but again, I've got two different types of tickets, VIP and GA, and I want to be able to send a GA confirmation and a or a VIP confirmation. And if I can't separate these two, then it's just a universal message, you know?
Yeah. I can dive into that, Muddy. Um, the purchase confirmation is, but a scheduled email could filter by tag.
It could, but it would have to be scheduled. It wouldn't fire automatically upon purchase.
Um, and that's and that would be critical, Matt, to have the confirmation be saying something
That's what
different.
we're trying to replace, you know?
Hmm.
Like VIP has different offers than GA and different bells and whistles.
Hmm. Um,
In theory,
yeah,
like the tagging should work.
process
I
should
just
work. Yeah, that's right.
I just
Yeah.
don't it didn't. And I feel like did set it up right. Like I can get the trigger to work if it's for a ticket purchase, but not for a tag. Like when an attendee in Obvio gets tagged as something,
Mm.
it doesn't get recognized and it doesn't trigger the automation in MailChimp.
And the payload that you get when the purchase is made, you're not seeing the ticket at that point. Is that it doesn't show anything in what's being sent, the trigger that comes over to say that the purchase has been made, or attendee is created. Is that what it is that you're using?
The attendee does get created like in Obvio, but then it doesn't it
And you said,
doesn't tag that attendee appropriately within MailChimp to then trigger the automation in MailChimp.
yeah,
And you have the tags set up by ticket in the in the ticket page.
I do.
Yeah.
yeah, it's tagging in Obvio, okay, right? You're seeing that, okay, but
Believe so.
but that's not triggering. Um, yeah, I saw the ticket. That like you've had a bit of back and forth with James, I think, about this.
Yeah.
And I saw it earlier. Um, um, what's the event called?
Pin Growth Summit 2026. Might be Pet Industry Network Growth Summit.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Just have a little look, and it could be that it might just be that the Zapier tag is not triggering.
What what I wonder is, so I'm looking at the Avio, the available triggers in Zapier for Avio.
Yeah.
Attendee checked in, attendee created, attendee tagged, and
Hmm.
attendee ticket purchased. Um, so I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a timing between which of those are you using, Matt? Are you using the attendee tagged or the attendee ticket purchased?
Try
Right
both,
now, what we have currently set up is ticket purchase, but again, it's generalized. So it's just a universal email. What we would love is for two separate automations, one being
one being. Oh, he just froze for a moment, Matt. He said one being.
one being GA and one being VIP based on, I would assume, attendee tag.
Y- Yeah, and so the fields on the purchase ticket purchased. Did you see the breakdown of all the fields that were there that come over with that? Is it only the name, like the email or the first name, last name, email? Does it not say which ticket it is?
It does in Zapier, you mean?
Yeah, in Zapier, yeah.
It does. I mean, it allows you to indicate what the tag label is. So I would assume if it lines up in Zapier with what we have set up in Obvio, then
Right. So can you then tag based on that purchase label? in Zapier.
I would think so. And like I think I do have this set up the way it should be. It's just not triggering it is the issue.
Sorry, so is ticket purchased, neither ticket purchase nor attendee tag are triggering, is that right?
Ticket purchase triggers.
Okay.
Attendee tag does not.
Okay. So if you use ticket purchased and then have a condition on the label of the ticket purchased, you can then achieve what you need to.
Maybe.
I think that's the step that's needed. So I
Yeah.
just pulled up Zapier as well, and I'm looking at, and it does show, it doesn't show the tag, but it shows the ticket name, right? So whatever I've named the ticket comes through, right? So it shows as a VIP ticket name.
Yes.
And I
Right.
think what you would need to do is now in the next step of Zapier is set a condition to say if ticket name equals VIP,
Yeah.
then do this thing, and have a second zap that says if VIP equals this, do this other thing. Or, you know,
Okay.
if ticket name equals this, or if ticket name equals that. Because it does look like it's pushing the data through.
Yeah.
And
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So then you can do a condition that if that field equals
Mm,
VIP, then you can decide what your workflow is then, whether you're tagging it in MailChimp or whether you're doing the complete, you know, emailing process at that point, and doing it all in one Zap. That's also possible, but um,
okay. I mean, that's a
do
good
you
idea. I
want to?
haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, did you want to? Did you want to share screen, step through that, or do you want to just have a little play and see how that works, or whatever you want
Um,
to do? You want to hang around for a bit and play with it,
I'll probably
or
hang
that?
around and play with it.
Yeah, do that.
I know you guys, you know Obvio. I'm not sure you guys are the Zapier experts, and neither am I. So I might have to figure out how to do that myself in Zapier.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like the field for the ticket name, I don't think it natively exists in Zapier, so I'd have to create that field and link it appropriately. But then,
Yes, sort of. Yeah, that's right. You're doing a condition, and you'll be able to drag that field into the condition. So the field's there, and then you'll enter the value that you want it to match. Um, and so yeah, have a little play. And yes, you're right. We talk about Obvio most of the time, but there is a lot of other services that we end up touching and talking about because of how it interacts with Obvio.
yeah,
And as you see, Muddy and I have played around with Zapier a bit. I haven't for a while, but I had some really complicated zaps going there for a while, and was working great. So it's very cool. So I think I think we should be able to get there with this setup. Um, and sorry if I confused you with my preamble, but
good.
it's something to consider, um, going forward. But I'm
Yeah,
sure you just like, I just need to make this event work, and then we can
pretty much.
reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. All right. Well, um, touch back with us if you want another tip or whatever. We'll be
sounds
here for
good.
a bit. Cool. Good
Appreciate
to
it,
have you,
guys.
Matt. Thanks. No worries. All right. Muddy, custom ribbons. When
yes,
I
so
always get nervous, I get nervous when Muddy asks what is seemingly a straightforward question, because if Muddy's asking it, it means chances are something's broken or something's not working. Because otherwise, it's rare that I just say, "Yeah, you just do this, Muddy." Of course. I mean, like, I already know that, and I've tried that, Grant. That's not working. But we'll see. What have you
well,
got?
I've got an event coming up, and it's there's some really cool stuff happening on this event. For one is we built out a exhibit hall that has links to the individual booths, and then for each of the booths, it
Cool.
has, you know, a guest
Love
book
that.
button that'll open up the guest book, and then
Mm,
each sponsor will have a couple of times during the 1 hour meal breaks where the exhibit hall is open and they can connect live on Zoom with each of the sponsors, and you can
love it.
jump back up to the top. And so on the dashboard, most of the dashboard is not built out yet, but a couple of things that we have built
Can,
out.
Muddy, sorry,
Go ahead.
can I just say that it feels it feels so COVID, for us to be talking about sponsor booths and and that sort of stuff. Um, and it's a discussion that's coming back around, with oil crisis and whatever. Potentially more so for us in Australia because we're the end of the chain for oil. Um, but what's interesting to me is because I've got a couple of big medical clients and they have huge sponsor expos on site. And if they
Yeah,
were to shift to virtual, it's a massive push to sort of convince all of these sponsors to be able to do something online. And I still think 6 years later, I still think that this type of setup with what you're doing can be amazing for people, and it's convincing them for sponsors to have. How about you set up one decent studio at your head office? You can demo things, you can show products, you can have your key people, everyone. Obviously I'm preaching to the choir with you, Muddy, but it's a current topic for me that sometimes we go, oh, we couldn't possibly do virtual because we have to have booths, and you're like, but you spend ridiculous amount of money getting your booth there, setting it all up.
so
You could
much.
do that once at your head office, and now you've got all the key people there, and you can have hundreds of people visit your booth at the same time, like as in, so it's really cool to see some of that stuff that that you're doing, Muddy. I hope that it goes really well as far as
You could be
sponsor
running
booths.
a booth session once a week, you know, it's like
Yeah,
from
exactly.
your home
Yeah.
studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, on the dashboard, most of the dashboard is not yet fully built out, but I'm working on some of the sidebar components. And so in Obvio, you may, and again, this is also kind of an analog from in-person events. When you get a name badge, you can get a ribbon under your name badge if you're a speaker, a sponsor, and many of you may know this, but in Obvio, there is a way to add these different ribbons, and you can customize these ribbons with different colors and different messages, and it's very cool. You can also upload custom ribbons. And so for this event, because we want to add some icons and have some styling, rather than using the built-in ribbons, we've created some custom ribbons. And so we've got some for this cleaning event, mop-free millionaires, mop-free multimillionaires. And when I load the default ribbon, as you can see with this VIP ribbon, it extends
Uh,
beyond the sidebar. And it's a transparent PNG, and I downloaded this ribbon and pulled in the same dimensions, right? The same pixel width. And then when we created these, again,
yeah.
PNGs with transparent background, I was expecting them to also extend beyond the sidebar, but it looks like they are constrained within
Yeah.
the sidebar, and there are very limited, editing options within here, basically no editing options. And
Yeah.
so the two things I wanted to do, I was curious if there was a way to get them to extend. That's not as big of a deal, but I'd also love to reduce some of the padding, because what's actually not showing on here, we also have another two ribbons for VIP and Platinum VIP. So it's possible someone could be a VIP, a mop-free millionaire, and part of the Brazilian Buffaloes. So they may have three ribbons, up to three ribbons, and you can see how spaced apart these are, you know, the rest of the content is going to be pushed much farther down. And actually, so I think I know the answer is that there is no built-in way to modify those right now, but just checking.
Yeah.
So it does
It's
look
a
like the
mhm.
default ribbons are closer together. So I just added a second custom ribbon. And so potentially I could try playing around with the sizing or dimension, but I don't think so. Anyway, go ahead.
No, yeah, I think there probably is slightly different, um, slightly different styling that's happening to custom ones than the default ones. And we should look at that to have it more consistent. Um, just making a note of it now.
Sure.
Um, when is in 7 days? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was
So
scrolling up to show you. We got 7 days.
that's right. So the wish list really is that, you know, it would act the same way, that it would overlap the side, which I agree it looks better. And also that I mean ideally you would have the ability to change the gap between,
Yeah,
but even if it
and
was a
many of
bit
the
reduced.
sidebar items, that is, you know, many of the
Yeah,
sidebar items provide a um
yeah, space
uh,
between.
yeah, space between different, you know, different sliders for padding. But so that would be lovely. And while we're at it,
Uh-huh.
the other questions are around the agenda. So what I really want is I want to be able to have basically like some headers and subheaders within the agendas, right? So what the way this is similar to the look that I want, right? I want to have agenda and then day one, which does not have any time or date shown for day one, but
Mm,
then I've got the title. And when I put freedom multiplier up here, like you can't change the size of this because this is actually what the agenda title is, right? The way I'm doing
right.
this
Yes, yes.
is I'm putting it in as the agenda
Uh-huh.
title, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no font settings for those. So when I put the description in with it, day one dash freedom multiplier, it's just so huge it crosses over into two lines. It doesn't look great. So anyway, I put that as kind of the description as a subheader. And then there's 3 items: coffee with coaches, main session, and roundtable. These look okay. Um, I would have wanted. So anyway, I'm okay with the way that this looks right now. I mean, I've got this to look. I'm fairly happy with this setup, but
Mm,
um, the way that the way that I tried to do it at first
mm,
is there a way to hide the time altogether in an
mm.
agenda item? Because then
Yeah.
I could have created the day one as an agenda item with no time and just have
Yeah.
that be the list. So it essentially acts as a subheader. Because originally I had this day one coffee with coaches, day one main session, day one roundtable, day two coffee with, and it just kind of all
Right.
blended together. And I wanted
Yeah.
some formatting options basically within the agenda.
Yeah.
Um, and what was interesting to me, and the reason I kind of thought about it when we were talking about padding, is I first pulled the agenda title and description off altogether, thinking I'd put a text item up here and say, okay, day one, and kind of put all that in this text element. But what happened is when I removed the agenda title right here, so this is the note. If there is no agenda title, it still creates the padding for the
Mm,
agenda title. When I refresh this page, you'll see that this agenda is has all this blank space
Yeah,
right
right,
here
right.
because it wants the agenda title to be there. A lot of the other items in Obvio, if there's no title, it just collapses it.
Yeah.
But with the agenda, if there's no agenda title, it doesn't collapse it. And so it, when I tried to put agenda and day one up here, now I have this big space. And the other thing I was struggling with, but I figured out, and so I'll share here as a note for anyone else who may be interested. I wanted the agenda times just to show the start times. And if you notice, these all now do just show the start times. But when you put an agenda item in, there is a field for both start time and end time. And you
Yeah, I was
can't,
gonna say you make it the same. Yeah.
yeah, you can't make this one empty, but if you make the end time the same as the start time, it won't. So that's the pro tip. It won't show the end time. It just shows the start time. So that part's handy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, this is not as pressing because by putting it in here,
No,
by
you've
putting
done
day
really
one,
well. Yeah.
and
Yeah, by using it as a subheading,
yeah,
making something up to go in there, you've done well. Um, so, but yeah,
I've got a lot of the look and feel that I want here. But okay,
I'm making some notes of that as well because these are all like we actually had the exact same thing last week. We were talking exactly about being able to have a line there that doesn't have a date on it, date and time.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I think it would be good.
yeah, and maybe it's a little bit like posts. There's a slider at the top where it just says show date. If I add a blog post here, there's a slider here that just says hide date, right? If I just had a similar slider
Right.
like that said hide date, then the agenda item would just would default to just be a text field, but I actually could make it a link because the default agenda item has the ability for a link. So it would be handy if there was just a toggle, or if I could just delete, like if I could
Well,
just have
yeah,
nothing
it's just
in the
empty.
start and
Yeah.
end times. But I love Avio, and this client is thrilled.
Yeah, good.
It's also not pressing, it is expanding my ability to have the different rules because we've got 6 different labels or 8 different labels. We've got 10 different Zoom backgrounds, and some
Yeah, nice.
backgrounds are based on a group field. Some are based on tags. And so it's like, okay, if you have this tag or that tag, but not that tag, you get this. So anyway,
Yep.
working great.
Um, it's really cool. Yeah, and it looks really great, Matty.
Thank you. And
Um,
Tiffany, those ribbons are on all of the templates. This is the
yeah,
classic template that you're seeing here, but those ribbons are available. It's a sidebar element. And so when you're in, I take that, I say that, I think it's available, should be available in any template that has a
as a
sidebar.
sidebar. Yeah.
So, panels may not, Nifty 50 may not, but cards definitely does, this definitely does. And at the bottom, when you say add items, one of those items are ticket ribbons is what they call them. And thank you
Oh.
for all the nice comments.
I'm sorry, I haven't got Justin here, and normally he's taking notes and following up. So I'm just making a couple of notes here.
Because he's running an event, and not only
You're
are
right.
we not only are we Obvio experts, we use it every day running events. So
Exactly. Um, Yeah, let's see. All right. I've made those notes. All right. What did I miss in the chat? Couple of comments there about Muddy. It's cool. Um, all right. That one was that one, that question. And Tawana, is that how you say it? Tawana? Hello.
Sorry, I was trying to come off of mute.
You're
I
good.
just had a really quick question. I'm so sorry. I was, taking I attended a couple of, I guess maybe the events where they were advertising this. It was like maybe in 2022, I want to say. I
Okay.
signed up for, I was supposed to sign up for Leap, and I think I signed up for Obvio or something like that. Make a long story
Which was
short, my
which was
I
much
lost my
cheaper.
son. Mm. I don't well, I got kind of confused, and so I don't know which one I signed up for. I really never was able to follow back up because my son passed away, and so
I'm sorry.
I'm just coming back, and I'm very interested in doing events through your platform. And so I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure out like where would I go to try to get signed back up. I guess I still get all the weekly calls that you guys have, and I'm probably in the wrong room because I have not a clue. But I wanted to try to get back on me and my team and start doing virtual events.
Awesome. Well, it's so good to have you back, connected to it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm sorry to hear about your son, and I'm excited for you as to how you bounce back and get into online events. So you're totally in the right place. Like this is totally fine. It's a good place to come and ask the questions because can make sure that you get all connected to where you need to be. Um, we have kind of a hidden thing here that will work well for you, which is if you were to go to onefreemonth.com,
One
then
free month. Okay.
yeah, I've just put it in the chat.
Okay. Okay.
You can get, as the name suggests, one free month. And so you can sign up, and that will give you a sort of a month to play around before having to pay. And that will sort of get you connected. Now, if what you need, so let's be clear, Obvio is about the event delivery, right? So it's just the platform. It includes, if you go to obv.io, you'll see all the description of what that is. And obv.io, there's a link there. You'll see this is about a system for actually doing your event. And so a dashboard system, exactly what you've experienced now when you joined this meeting is what you would be able to offer. So what I would just encourage you with is to decide around where it is that you're at in your getting the event going journey. It could be that if you were wanting to do Leap before, then doing Leap now would be would be really great. And so that's separate. That's not something that I look after, but obviously we're kind of tied together. But it could be worth exploring that again, as far as a actual kind of coaching mentoring program through getting your event business up and racing. So it's worth considering that. It's also worth considering, in recent days, we have sometimes been encouraging people to get their event going, potentially even outside of Obvio to start with, and just get it rolling. Like if it's a matter of I need to get an event happening, using a standard Zoom account and just make it happen, get the first event under your belt, and then it's something that it's okay. Now I'm going to build on that, and start using Obvio and start building out the whole event experience. Does that make sense? That was a whole bunch of words.
Oh no, it absolutely makes sense. It really does. Just to kind of give you a little bit about what it is that I'm doing. So I've been doing the Zooms
Okay.
intermittently between me healing and just trying to have this new life. And
Sure.
I've been kind of doing. I'm not really tech savvy, so maybe Leap might be a better fit for me to kind of like help me
Mhm.
with it. But I want like a more professional. I know Blue and Barry. They're the way that they have their backgrounds and different things of that sort. I also know Alicia Little. She uses Abio,
Right.
Neo. They use Abio. It's just a better experience. Not to crap on Zoom or anything like that, but where they actually can like win prizes, gamify. I would really love
Sure.
how to do all of that, take the events to another level. I have a very big audience, and it'd just probably make the process smoother for me to. That's why I originally signed up. I was totally, fascinated and loved everything about Avia. I do know Leap was like the mentorship. I believe I probably would need that, but I can't really remember what it all entailed. So I will look over those links, but I want to start, talking to or having events for business owners who've suffered some type of loss and almost lost their business. I really want to reach
Right.
that audience.
Yep. Amazing. I think I remember you from way back. Um, and because I think we had spoken before. Anyway, sounds very familiar.
We did. It was a while
Mm.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, I mean, you're saying all the right things as far as like, wanting to, the reasons to use Obvio, right? You totally got it. Muddy said in the chat, it is Zoom, but better, and that's the things that you're experiencing, right? It is a much nicer experience, which is why we continue to use it on all our events. Is a better experience for the attendees when they're coming in, whether they're coming when the event is on or not. That's something that's really nice, right? Is that dashboard exists before, during, and after your event, and so you're not just seeing a waiting for host to start meeting, message that you would get from Zoom. No, you get a fully branded site that is explaining about your event. So yeah. Anyway, I don't need to convince you about using Obvio, but it is what I'm not certain of is where Leap is at in the journey as far as being able to bring people in mid-cycle and all of that. I think yeah, it's all okay. So it is worth because Obvio is included in the Leap program, and so it definitely is worth exploring. Um, uh, Exploring that. Just wondering if I can get you a site that will make sense.
Well, I looked at that, but I also put in the chat leap at poweredbysage.com is the
Yeah,
direct email that'll take you to the Leap team, so you can reach out to them as well.
you could just yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that, and that's where my receipt came from. They were like, I know you were interested in Leap, but you signed up for Avio, and we don't want you to make a double payment because you can actually get Leap as a part of.
Gotcha.
I mean, Avio as a part of the Leap. So I will definitely check that out. I really appreciate it. I was telling my business partner, I'm like, I need to get back into. I was calling it events by virtual events because I just can't remember. She was like, "Are you talking about Sage?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So then when I I just like, yeah, this is the heavens aligning for me or something because I got the text message say, hey, there's a Q&A for Obvio. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, I will definitely check that out. Either way it go, whether Leap or Obvio, I mean, I totally loved the whole entire experience and I'm just
Yeah,
ready to get back started.
amazing. Yeah, well, don't want you to lose that momentum that you've got too. So,
Well, and I did
I'll
find the link actually to
okay,
join
cool.
TVEs or to join Leap.
Leap.
The link, I found the link to join Leap from the TVE 10 dashboard. So
Yeah,
I just
cool.
put that link in the chat, Zoom chat.
Thank you guys so very much. I really
Oh
appreciate
yeah.
it. And thank everyone for your condolences. I really appreciate you all.
You're welcome. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was 22. 22 was when you signed up. Um and yeah, and then it stopped at the end of 22. Um and so but yeah, it was that was just
Yeah.
before we that was before we had payments all set up um
Yes.
directly in Obvio, and so it was still going through the same place, and that's why there could have been some confusion about what had signed up, but
Okay.
that's all. Yeah, that's all good. But yeah, I think definitely email, check that out. Look at Leap, see if that's a go for you. And I honestly, I think that the support that you would get, the direction you would get from Blue and Barry, I think is second to none. I can say that I don't think in the world, especially for the type of stuff that you're talking about. And also, um, the investment that you would make in that, uh, I would think will come back, in the first couple of events very quickly because especially like I think that Barry's skills, particularly in defining or refining your offer and what you're about and things like that. Um, uh, some um, some experience that you get from her on that, I think would be worth 10 times what you pay for Leap. You know what I mean? It's kind of that
Yes.
value. It's only gotten sharper, I think, her skills, as I've watched that over the last 6 years. And so,
Yes. Yeah.
um, so yeah, and I'm not trying to sell you at all. I think I'm just
No,
trying to
no, no.
say
I
facts. I
appreciate it.
think,
I really do. I need, I don't I really need their expertise, their support to kind of put it all together.
yep,
That's why I was so interested in Leap. When I first signed up in 2022, and then right in the middle of that is when my son passed away from fentanyl poisoning. So everything about my life was just turned upside down, honestly, and just
no
trying
doubt.
to get back. Here it is. It's 2026, and I'm barely back, on my feet, ready to go. And I've been doing Zooms, like I said, intermittently, but um, I'm just ready to level this up, and I 100% welcome the, Barry and Blues expertise, outside of
Yeah,
Avio, just to have their support and their pick their brain a little bit, would
100%.
definitely benefit me. Yes.
Well, yeah, and I think it's designed really well for you who have already had a bunch of experience.
Uh-huh.
You've done some stuff, you've done a bunch of events. I think you've written books and stuff too, right? And do I remember that right?
Yes, I have
Um,
two books that I've written. Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
and so like you're already well along the way, and so then just having that next step of that next push. But the other thing I think that would be really good for you in Leap is just having some buddies. You've got buddies that are doing the going along the journey with you. There's a bunch that are on this call right now, and just having people that you're all going in the same direction, and just feel like you've got some community around you, albeit that they're in potentially different industries. It's all very similar when you have those leapers alongside you, and I could imagine just having that moral support for what you're doing would be super valuable too. So yeah.
Yes. Thanks a million. Appreciate you guys so very
Of
much.
course.
Thank you so much.
No worries. All right. So people. I have to move to the car to take my kids to school, which is cool. Let's see. And then I'll be able to chat away. It's just the way that it's worked this week. We've got daylight saving here that changes on Sunday, so then it moves an hour earlier and makes the whole thing much easier. So this will be the last time it's like this. But I will shift over. Maybe Muddy wants to do a little tap dance while I shift.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's an interesting thing what Grant is actually going to do. And here's a quick pro tip about when you are using Zoom on multiple devices. If you are signed in to the same Zoom account on desktop and on phone, when you go to that device, you'll actually have an option that shows you that you can transfer the call. I don't know if that's what Grant is going to do, but that's one thing that is interesting, is that as long as you're signed in on the same device, you can actually transfer a call from one device to another while you're in it. But Kat, is there a question I can help answer while Grant's doing the transition?
Yeah, it's probably a really easy question, Muddy. When we get all the recordings off of Obvio, where do you put those? Do you just put those on your website, or I mean, how do you capitalize on having those recordings?
Yeah, that's a great question. And what you may have discovered, and what others may know also, is that in Obvio, we use Zoom's cloud recording, but you access that through the Obvio platform. But essentially all of the things are turned on, which means you'll get a speaker view, you'll get a gallery view. If you have screen sharing, you'll get screen sharing by itself, screen share with active speaker, screen share with gallery view. You'll get the audio recording by itself. You'll get the transcript. You'll get the chat. You'll get like 8 or 9 different files. All of the audio and video files, so not the transcript or chat, but all the audio and video files have the exact same audio track and length, which means if you wanted to edit, one of the advantages of having these multiple versions is that you could edit it after the fact, or have someone edit the video and kind of cut to gallery view, cut back to speaker view. I want to show just so you could make, all this is to say, the first thing that I do when I download all those is I decide, what do I want the replay to be, right? What I typically want to create is one kind of master replay recording. And so the default recording is screen share with active speaker, which means whoever's talking, they're large, but if they share screen, that screen share takes up most of the page and they become kind of a little video in the corner. But the advantage of creating a replay is if we take a 30-minute meal break, I want the Zoom recording to keep running, because, side note, best practice is never touch the recording during an event, because you can pause it, but if you forget to play, if you forget to start again, you can never get it back. And so what I like to do is, as soon as the meeting opens, the recording starts automatically. And I usually open the meeting, an hour before showtime to get all my systems in and check, which means the file I download from Obvio has an hour of just me in the meeting, futzing around and checking the different things. So I want to crop all of that off. So I trim the recording. I take the recording, I trim off the front. Likewise, one of the best practices we've talked about at the end of events, rather than having this very abrupt host has ended the meeting, boop, and everybody just disappears, we just cut to a hold slide, cut to a graphic, and like, okay, we'll just let music play for a couple minutes and let people kind of filter out naturally, which means I've got some stuff at the end of the recording I don't really need in the replay either, right? So I'm going to trim the front and the back. And then if we took long breaks, or if there were breakouts, okay, we're going to do a 15-minute breakout session. The recording is still capturing the main room, which means there's nothing happening in the main room while everyone's in breakouts. So I want to trim all those bits out as well. So an 8-hour event might have a 5-hour replay, right? It might be kind of, it's really just the content. So that's the first step I do, is decide what I want the replay to be, and I'll cut out the parts I don't want, and that's the file. Now, your actual question, what do you do with that? You have to host it somewhere in order to be able to show it. And so the two places we think about are, well, the main place that we often show it is we want to put that replay on the dashboard, because we want people to come back to the dashboard to watch the replay, particularly if it's an enrollment event, because right above the video is a button that says, I'm all in for the program, right? So it makes it easy for them to take action, enroll in the program, or have access to the resources and the downloads and the workbooks and all of those other things that you curated around the event. I want the replay to be one more thing that they can see and view there. And so I'll show you on an event that we did this kind of extensively, is we have, and so the one thing I'm talking about is kind of having that one long 5-hour recording. But the other thing that you could do is you could have that recording be cut up into individual segments. And that's what I'll show you real quickly on an event where we did this. Is for each of the replay sessions, we have on the dashboard, here's the replay of general session 1. Here's the replay of general session 2. And for this event, they actually wanted an evaluation form for each of these sessions as well. Like, okay, how did you like this? What would you change? And so by putting it on the dashboard, I can have all of these other elements along with it, right? So this was a 30-minute talk. This recording is just a 30-minute recording. But what you'll notice is, in order to actually have this on the dashboard, I need it to be a link somewhere. I need that to live somewhere else, because when I go to create a blog post and I want to put in a video file, what I have in Obvio is a space to drop in the URL of the video. Unlike some CRMs or platforms where I'm actually uploading the video to that platform, Obvio doesn't work like that. Obvio isn't going to host the video. It's going to pull the video from somewhere, which means you can put it on YouTube as an unlisted video. So that's the free option, is to put it on YouTube, make it an unlisted video, and then grab that URL, and that's what you'll paste into Obvio. And so that's what these are. The challenge is Obvio doesn't allow you, or YouTube no longer allows you to remove this link that says watch on YouTube. And so if you host on YouTube, every video is going to have a button that says watch on YouTube, and it's going to show that this was uploaded to the Whiteboard Academy page and the title of the video. So these elements along on top of the video, these overlays, cannot be hidden with a YouTube video, but it is free. What I have started doing is, when I want these to be clean, is to actually upload to Vimeo. Now, Vimeo, I pay for storage on Vimeo, but I never send anyone to Vimeo. I don't want them to watch videos on Vimeo. What I do is just have the video live there, and I can choose whether I want any of those other overlays to show up, and I don't. So, which means it's a completely clean viewing experience on the dashboard. They can't click over to Vimeo. They don't see that, Muddy is hosting this video, even though the video is my client on the video, right? Like all of that is hidden. So Vimeo, I find, is the cleanest way to host the video, but it's paid. YouTube is probably the easiest and free way, but you just have a few minor things to consider that people can kind of click over to YouTube. So hopefully that answers your question. But I have seen people, the other thing that I have seen is I have seen people, especially, so we're talking about events and enrollment events, but sometimes people use Obvio for delivery. Like this call right now is hosted in Obvio, but this is not an enrollment event. This is a weekly Q&A call. And we want these videos to be available for replay. So one of the things that Grant actually does is, you may notice we are streaming to YouTube. The value is because that video now is immediately available as a replay. This meeting, this recording is immediately available as a replay on YouTube. And what the Obvio Q&A dashboard has, rather than the individual replay links, it actually has a playlist embedded. So there's kind of one frame and it just shows the most current. But if you were to click on it, it's actually a playlist of all of the Obvio recordings. And then the last thing I've seen people do when they are using Obvio, like Leap, we have calls monthly, different kinds of calls on Leap. They take those videos and then they upload them to another hub site or membership site or classroom site. I have clients that, are teaching courses, and it's like, okay, the replay is now going to be live in your online classroom. And so that's being uploaded to another membership-based system, and it shows up as a module there. So hopefully that gives you a couple of different
So helpful and comprehensive. Thank you, Muddy, as always.
Yeah, that was great. Absolutely. And yeah, thanks for mentioning, Muddy, too, about the watch on YouTube button. The thing that's concerning about that is we know getting people's attention and holding people's attention can be tricky sometimes, no matter whether they're signed up or not, or the post event or whatever. And so having a button like, so easily you can touch that watch on YouTube, suddenly now, sure, your video is opening on YouTube, but so is all those related all those related videos, and YouTube's wanting to keep your attention for as long as it can. And that's why it is a good reason to host it. And I use Vimeo as well. I think you can really lock down in Vimeo where videos can be seen. And so you can actually even say it can only be shown on this Obvio domain name. It can't be embedded anywhere else. And so it's a bit more of a secure way as well. So it depends on your content. Because remember too that of course someone could share their link to your dashboard. That could, they can absolutely do that. But if you're hosting a video on YouTube, it's super easy for them to go watch on YouTube, copy and paste, and send that video to whoever they want, right? So particularly when it's a recording of your event, you don't want it as so easily shareable as that, so it's just worth considering that. And so you might start out, doing it on YouTube and then plan to transition away from that. There's something that Muddy said as well, is that around membership sites, and Blue really coined this term of that Obvio is kind of like a temporary membership site, like it's and so, and while, yes, some people are using it as a membership, portal or platform ongoing, there are better systems out there for that type of thing, where you might have more interaction, discussion boards, chat, functions like that. But that Obvio being a temporary membership site is sort of like saying, for a few days before the event, for the event, and then maybe for a week after, this is a place that all the people that came to that event have access to. But you would probably use another system if you wanted to go ongoing, is generally the thing. And then, just in general about offering recordings, there's lots of thinking around that that's worth considering. And I would argue that you would default to not offering recordings, depending on the event. And that maybe it's a paid upgrade to access recordings, an extra upgrade to do that. But yeah, the more people you can get live, the better, and so you don't want people at the last minute to go, oh, you know what, I'll just catch it on the replay. The chances are they won't. And so they're more likely to catch it live and to gain all of the advantages of the live event while it's happening. So yeah. That was a masterclass in recordings.
Janie had a good question in the chat around how long do you put the replays up? And what I would say to that is it depends. As Grant was saying, if there's kind of two main strategies. One is if you want to drive them back at like an enrollment event, you want to drive them back, especially for the offer. Like one of the things we'll typically do is we have the replay of the whole event, but we also crop out just the replay of the offer. And that's available right away for everyone because we want them to see the offer. And sometimes we'll say you've got, a week to see this, right? Offer. And we would couple that with like a cart close, right? This offer ends in a week or something like that. However, what Grant is talking about around, we want people to be there live. We don't want them to say, oh, I'll just watch the replay because I've got something else going on. What some of the pros are doing is not including the replays or saying the replays will be made available up to 60 days after the event, which is like, well, crap. Yeah. I don't want to wait 60 days to watch the recording, so I'm going to show up live.
It's FOMO.
But I know, and what they typically say is, so you can go back and rewatch your favorite parts, right? So it's just positioning that replay a little bit differently. It's not, you're not going to watch the replay instead of coming live. You'll have the replay 60 days after the event, so you can rewatch your favorite parts. So just a couple ideas around that.
100%. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing because you create a FOMO then. They're missing out. It's like, well, in a month's time, 2 months' time, it's probably going to feel like I've missed the opportunity. But to your point, to replay, to be able to rewatch a section in a month's time, 2 months' time, that could be really valuable. I'd love to be able to do that, And so, yeah, I think it's there's a lot of thinking to do around providing recordings. Yeah.
All right. I see Tiffany has her hand up.
Go ahead.
Yes, I just had a couple of questions I'm just going to rattle off. So the first one is, for those custom ribbons, are they available on the panels template? Or is there something similar to the ribbons that could be used on the panels template?
Well, what's important to say is that the way that the ribbons are working is simply by showing something based on a tag, right? Now,
Correct.
There's no reason why you can't create blog posts in the same way. And so you could create a blog post that sits at the top of the panel that is just for VIP, and it could have a little banner on it. And then the next one could be another one that just has different content panels that will show only for different people with different tags. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So like when someone follows our CTA to the button, the I'm all in, and they become a new member, then I can have where when that is checked off in their CRM, it turns on a pinned ribbon at the top of their blog.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And
I know how to do that.
I mean, you could add content as well, right? So it could be a ribbon, but you could also have a YouTube video of you saying, congratulations, you're in. Can't wait to see you next week when we start, or whatever it is, right? Like that is really compelling. Yeah.
Okay. And then my next question.
Real quickly, Tiffany, I actually have a quick example, an event that we had different sponsors bringing their attendees in, and we wanted, based on which MLS system you came, to have a different logo showing at the top of the page. And so, for instance, this post only shows if your tag says, MLS Dorify, whereas
Okay.
another one, so depending on what tag you have, you will only see one of these logos, but you'll see it nice and big on the top of the page. And so
Okay, I didn't know I
this
could
is
do my
why we
blog post based off
chose
that too.
this is why we chose the panels template for this, is so we can showcase these logos nice and big based on those tags. Exactly what you're saying.
Awesome. Okay, that's super helpful. Okay, and then the next question I have, these are not in order, I'm sorry. They were just coming up throughout the day.
That's fine.
So I know in the statistics back end, when we're looking at the statistics, I can see like when they've clicked that join the main event button, it shows that they've attended the Zoom. Is there a function somewhere where I can see how the duration that attendees stayed in the Zoom each day and how many were in each specific day? Is that all things I can access?
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
Okay.
called Zoom attendance.
Mhm.
And so you'll see that where have I got it in the Zoom areas, Zoom attendance. Is that where it is?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'll pull one up while you're talking about it.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and so it's exactly what you're talking about. Being able to look at a window of time, whether that's the full day or whether it might be just when your pitch happened or when a particular thing happened, you can see exactly who was. You can get an export of exactly who was online at that time.
Oh, I can export it too?
You can export it, but not only that, you'll love this too, is that you can also tag people at a particular window, right? So if your pitch happened between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., you can look at that window and then tag all those people to say they were there for that pitch. And what that means is you can tag them in Obvio, but you can also tag them externally into your CRM, and now you can target people for who was and who wasn't there for the pitch. Does that make sense?
Yes. Muddy, can you go back
Muddy's
one
showing a bit.
step? Oh, yeah, I know. I was
Yeah,
trying
and
to grab
what I
his-
wanted to show you is when. Oh yeah. Did you want me to show this drop down of these?
Yes,
options?
perfect. Thank you. That's the one I missed.
And so one of the things I was showing is that you can define your time frame, but then you can also click and drag to zoom in on a specific time, and it will just kind of redraw the graph and zoom in on that time period. And then one of the options, when you click export attendees,
Mhm.
you have two options. You can have a detailed or summary. Detailed is going to create a new row every time someone leaves and comes back, which means if someone left and came back, they would show up twice. If you choose summary, it will actually show one row per person. It will show the number of times they left and joined, and it will show the total duration. It will say they were in Zoom for 4 hours and 28 minutes or whatever that. So exactly what you're asking about shows up in that.
That's awesome.
So I typically recommend the summary export type.
Definitely. Okay. And then my next question is.
Can I just add, Tiffany, just to
Absolutely.
just to put in the back of your mind as well, is that you can also schedule the tagging to happen in the future. So
Really?
yeah, so if you know that something's going to happen at a particular time, or you just want to say, I mean, it gets really granular too, because you can say, I want to know who was there on day 2, but I want to know that they were there for 80% of the day. You can say they were there for, 6 hours or 80% of that window. And if they were, then tag them with attended day 2. And now you can target all your emails. So the idea is that you can schedule everything before you even start your event. Schedule the tagging, as well as schedule all of your emails that would go out to follow up with people, or sorry we missed you, or sorry you missed this key session, here it is, or whatever it is, right? You can target all of that for people that have or haven't got the tag.
So when you
yeah.
When you click on Obvio tag and you put in the tag, right, attended, instead of clicking confirm, which will do it immediately, this half of the button, it will let you schedule it at a certain time and date. And then what Grant is saying is there's also this advanced button which says I only want to tag them if they were there, 80% of the day or something like
Hold
that.
on, let me get a screenshot of it too.
Yep.
Oh, you guys, that is incredible. I love that.
It's almost like we're running events just like yours. And so
weird, right?
Yeah, right. It's like we built tools to use ourselves.
Yeah. So you've done this before?
See what? What?
Yeah. So then my next question is, I know, if we update something from a contact record on Obvio, it's like if we update their name, things like that, right? It doesn't update in our CRM. If I update something in my CRM, what's the lag time for it to update in Obvio?
Which one are you using? Which CRM are you using?
We're using HubSpot. So if I update HubSpot, would it be 2 minutes?
That changed recently. It should actually be very fast with HubSpot.
Okay.
But yeah, it can.
It's not like
it
a
can
24-hour period.
No.
Okay.
5 minutes or less.
Exactly. It should be 5 minutes or less. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now, one of the things you said, you were breaking up a little bit, but these integrations work best from the CRM to Obvio. So if you make a change in your CRM, that shows up in Obvio. But if you change their name in Obvio, it's not going to sync back to your CRM. In fact,
correct.
5 minutes from now, it's going to update that and change their name back to what it was, because it
the only reason why, the only reason why anything would change in the Obvio side of things is like one of the other Q&As we were on is like if Dr. John Smith decides he wants his screen name to say doctor. Well, I don't want his actual contact record in my CRM to update to doctor. So by his screen name he wants to show, then that's when I would use the update in Obvio. So only his screen name shows that for the other attendees.
Yes. Sometimes that's even easiest to just make that edit in Zoom, just rename them in Zoom, because again, that won't stick. Like you can rename them in Obvio,
but if he bounces
when they come back tomorrow morning, HubSpot's going to resync and change it back to whatever it was. And
okay, good to know. Okay, then my next question related to the.
You're muted, Blue.
I was going to say only if his contact record changes, but the moment his contact record changes, that's true.
Oh, hi, Blue.
Oh, so if the contact
HubSpot
record in HubSpot doesn't change, it won't rewrite it.
Yeah, the HubSpot, the new sync or the new integration no longer syncs every 10 minutes. That used to be very, very, very true. But now the doctor portion will stick unless they get a new tag applied, in which case the sync will overwrite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before I move on to my next question, Janine had a question related to the same thing I was talking about. What's the time in GHL if they update something to update it in Obvio?
What's the new?
Quickly.
What have you seen, Muddy? Like it's fast.
Yeah,
like it's within
about the same.
Within a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my next question is, as we all know, duplicates. So someone registered for our event with one email address, then they replied to something with another email address. It created duplicates in HubSpot. If I update and do a merge in HubSpot, will it automatically correct it in Obvio, or is this person going to have a hot mess in Obvio as far as for their login link goes?
Yeah, merging is less of a problem in HubSpot than it was in Keep. And in fact, what'll wind up happening is when you merge, what you're basically just going to do is you're going to pick one of the two records to actually merge all of the information into. If you merge the version of the record that's not in HubSpot or in Obvio currently, it'll probably still take on all the contact properties of the other contact. So it should just merge.
Okay.
Which also
yeah.
would also delete the old one in Obvio as well. Yeah.
I'm actually
Okay,
not
so-
sure if it will delete the
No.
old one, because in a merge situation, the contact record isn't
It's still
actually
there?
being updated. Yeah, well, in a contact, I think the contact record itself is being deleted. And I don't believe we are taking a webhook on deleted contacts.
Okay.
So as a result,
So-
the old contact record will probably stay in there.
So let's say Jackie Chan follows the CTA for I'm All In during our offer, and he follows the CTA but puts a different email address than what he actually registered for the event for. So for the first day and a half, he's been jackiechan@gmail.com, but now he followed the CTA and joined our membership as jackie.chan@gmail.com. So now I've got two records in HubSpot. Is that going to create him a whole new Obvio? Or what would that be something? How do we
So
fix
the
that?
only, but yeah, so this is one of those things that no, it won't create a whole new Obvio record unless when they purchase Pinnacle, you also apply a contact, like a attendee tag. I would not do that, by the way. Don't do that. What I would
We
have
did the
ready,
checkbox thing you told us to do.
yeah, but what I mean is, yes, but you're talking about a whole new record. Like if that new record is a new contact in HubSpot. They're not an attendee. So as a
we
result,
need
they
to
won't
merge.
show. Don't even worry about it. You're like, honestly, Tiffany, you're overthinking it. What I would probably do is I would get them a direct link to your only concern at this point is the welcome celebration, right? That's the reason why you're worried about it.
Well, and also all of their onboarding steps, like their DocuSign for their agreement, goes to the
That
email
has
address.
nothing to do with Obvio. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's completely unrelated. I don't care. Obvio doesn't care about onboarding steps. So
Perfect.
if they register for the CTA with jackie.chan@themoviestar.com, that email address is going to get all their onboarding. That email address is also in HubSpot, doesn't have any recollection that it was an attendee, but it doesn't. I don't know that that matters. And that's not a problem that you would want to even worry about from an Obvio perspective. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only thing
answered
that
my
you,
question.
yeah, the only thing that you need to think about from an Obvio perspective is, are you doing something for your new signups during the event?
Yeah, we're gonna put some kind of like a ribbon of sorts at the top of their.
Then don't worry about it. If that's the only thing you're doing, are you doing a virtual welcome celebration?
Yes, but I can manually go in and checkbox that person with the new member
You can.
tag,
100%.
property. Yeah, so I can do
You
that
can,
manually, right?
but here's the thing, Tiffany. You can do that. You're not wrong. You're not going to know that that's a problem until too late, right?
Okay.
Because what'll wind up happening, you're going to have a 30-minute break. And during your 30-minute break, everybody who's new needs to go to the welcome celebration. Jackie Chan is going to look for his welcome celebration button, is going to get lost and confused for a couple of minutes. Then he's going to send an email to support. 30 minutes later, support is going to see it, at which point you're going to check the box. And now the welcome celebration is over and he can't get in and he missed it. That's what's going to happen. Like I can tell you that. And like, I mean, I'm guessing Muddy can back me up on that. That will undoubtedly happen. The only real solution to this is two things. Number one, in the email that they get when they register from the event, there should be a direct link to the welcome celebration, right? And we can show you how to do that.
Okay.
And what I would do in that is I would say, hey, congratulations, you're all in, or whatever the language is. Remember on Friday at 3:30, we have our welcome celebration. If you don't see the link on the dashboard, here's a direct link to that Zoom room when the time comes. That's option number one. Option number two, which in the last 6 months I've started to become fond of, is making the welcome celebration button on the dashboard unprotected and letting everybody see it. Now, here's the reason why I've become fond of it. Generally speaking, there's nothing in the welcome celebration that is unique and exclusive. And if somebody joins the welcome celebration who wasn't necessarily supposed to be there, the worst thing that happens is now you have a prospect that, because you're going to be able to tell who joined the welcome celebration. Now you have a prospect of somebody who joined the welcome celebration but wasn't supposed to. Give it to the sales team, have them follow up and say, hey, I noticed you joined us in the welcome celebration. Would love to get you onboarded into Pinnacle. Right? So yeah, we did this just recently for an event. We had something along the lines, I don't remember the exact number, so don't quote me. We had something along the lines of 500 new sales, but 750 people hit the welcome celebration. Wow. So what do you think we did? We had 250 hot prospects. This was a huge event, right? Like this was a really, really, really big event. And we were forced into that. The few times that I've done this, it's been moments where we were forced into it because the client didn't set up the automation to give us the tag or give us the indicator that tells us they're a client. And in the past, what we've done is say, if you don't see it on your dashboard, go to the help desk and we'll send you, and they'll give you the link. Well, again, that just slows down the process and pisses people off. Yeah. Right. And what we don't want to have happen is have a negative experience for the first thing that we are doing with somebody who just paid us $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $35,000. Let's just have it be a good experience. And the worst thing that happens is a couple people who weren't supposed to see it.
You got some wedding crashes there. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're going to have to, that one you're going to have to get cleared with somebody whose initials rhyme with AMI. But
I see the value on either side, but now understand that, like that piece that you were just telling me, like just because they sign up with the wrong email address doesn't mean that, it's not going to give them a second login link because the system doesn't recognize they were an attendee. And then there is a way to grab a direct link to the welcome celebration to add in the comms. Good to go for that's perfect.
Yep. Yeah, and you can also give it to, like, if you have a live help desk, you can give that link to the help desk, and you can go the old I'll call old school route, which is the MC says if you don't see the welcome celebration on your dashboard, just drop into the help desk and they'll get you sorted out. That's it.
Thanks, guys. Those are my questions for today. Appreciate it.
Tiffany, do you know how to create
my big question is that
access link? Do you want to?
No, I do not know how to do that piece yet. I didn't know how much time we had left, so I was gonna throw it in the chat on the Obvio tomorrow, because James is super helpful, by the way, in that Obvio chat on the site.
It's super easy. I can show you real quickly.
Okay, thank
He'll
you.
show you. And just while he's getting it ready, Tiffany, my question is, it's an important one, is if Jackie Chan's coming to your event, is Chris Tucker coming to your event as well?
I would surely hope so. Yeah, if I don't have the duo, I'm not really sure I want one, right?
I'm looking for Rush Hour 6 or whatever they're up to now.
Whatever number they're on now.
That's right, yeah.
Good call, Grant. Good call.
Okay, good. All right, good question.
It looks like sharing got turned off, but I could show you here on my screen. When you go into Zoom areas and go to an area, and then you click on the room number itself. So it says room 1 down here. When I click on room 1, I now have a toggle right here that says enable direct room access. As soon as I toggle that on, I get a link and I can copy that link. And this is the direct access link for that room. And if someone goes to that link, what they'll get is just a page that says first name, last name, email, and join the room. And so this is where that direct access link will take them.
Okay.
Of
And
course,
so is that direct?
this is branded.
Would you
So
show
is the direct?
her,
Sorry.
Muddy, would you drop back to the areas page? And I changed, sorry,
Sure.
that the screen share problem was me, but I turned it back
When
on.
you joined, yeah.
So the other thing that you can do right from there, once you enable it, if you want to make that link a little prettier.
I can't see his screen. I see you.
Spotlight it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen now. Share.
So from here, when you enable direct access,
at the room level,
link,
right, or at the area?
No, it's at both.
I know. Is this an enterprise account? Because
she's an enterprise account. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's enterprise. So right next to the copy button is this little link button. And if you want to make that link just a little bit prettier, you can just like call that like main stage, or in your case, welcome celebration. And then when you click create, it'll copy a different link to your clipboard, and you can just paste that, and you'll see it's a much shorter link that actually says welcome celebration in it. Yeah.
And then if I do that, and let's say I want to do that ahead of time, right? So I enable that, I create that pretty little short link.
All those will show up under production, under redirect links. So you can find that. You can find that here again, and
it won't change just because it's a different day.
No.
Nope.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, guys. That was super helpful.
Irina is next.
Irina's back.
I am back.
Same questions from last week.
Oh, Grant wanted a compliment. I'm ready to give you a compliment, Grant.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being firm last time and guiding me in the right direction, because I was stubborn. So I actually created, and Blue doesn't know, so I created landing page. I spent 3 days creating landing page in Marketplace. And then Grant said, don't do it. Go back to where you came from.
Wrong way, go back. Wrong way, go back.
Long time ago. And you told me last time. So I went the other direction, and I created landing page through Active Campaign. And actually, to add, previously you were talking about how fast the connection happens. Active Campaign was so super fast. I tested it, and immediately Obvio sent welcome email immediately. It was amazing. Yeah.
Great.
So yes, my landing page is pretty all automated, and it's done. So thank you, Grant.
Well done. You'll be much happier. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I am already much happier, so it's good. Okay, so I have very quick questions and easy. Well, one maybe not. Okay, toggle. There is a toggle. I discovered a blue toggle. Is it recent in attendee section? So when you open an attendee, you will see blue thing, and I think it's active or not active. What exactly does it mean?
It means whether they can access the dashboard or not, whether they are active. So the use case is that for some reason you need to remove a person. You don't want them to have access to the dashboard. They offended you, and so now you're going to go in there and you can disable them, right? And so it won't they won't get access to the dashboard. So 99% of the time you're not going to use that. But that's what it's for. It's to be able to disable an account.
Oh, that's great. I was just going to ask about that, and you answered. Okay, so also every attendee has a waiver. And let's say I want to save that waiver, but I don't want them to be on the dashboard. So I know if I delete that attendee, the waiver is deleted.
but they sign the contract and I want to keep that contract. And I understand that I could download, I could save it on my whatever, but in Obvio. So if I just turn it off as the attendee off, can I just keep the inactive attendee with the waiver right there?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All their details, they are still a current attendee, they're just not active, right? And so the data is all still there.
How about go ahead, sorry.
No, you're right.
How about the broadcast? Because I have automatic reminders, broadcast send reminders that the event is happening. If that person is inactive, blue off. So do they get reminders or not?
No.
They do.
Do they?
I think they do. But I think there's a filter for is enabled, is disabled.
Yeah.
So I would have to do the filter first.
Yeah. So basically when you're
just update the schedule.
When you are scheduling the broadcast, there's an option to filter the people who receive the broadcast.
Right.
And I believe one of the options, I say I believe because I'm going from memory and I have not done this in some time, but I believe one of the options is a filter.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's the first one, isn't it?
Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Checked in, not checked in, edit filters, enabled status. Yeah, it's buried in
enabled
there.
status. Yeah.
Okay, so here.
Easy.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think Muddy may have been sharing. Sorry, I didn't see that. So here, when you go into, when you create a new broadcast and you go to filtered, and then you click edit filters, enabled, and now it'll only go to and then you can click hide filters, right? So as long as enabled is checked, so not enabled, now it'll only go to enabled participants.
Good. Okay. Easy to delete them, but it's good.
Yeah. When you're in a rush, that's the first thing that you'll forget to do if you're sending deleted emails, a deleted participant an email.
Right.
And Irina, there is, when you're on the attendee page, there is a button that says attendee tools up here in the corner, attendee tools. And one of those attendee tools is download waivers. It will download all of the waivers. So you don't have to go person by person and download the waiver. If you wanted to download all of the waivers up here under attendee tools.
Yeah, and
thank you.
I would test what I'm about to tell you, Irina. Create an attendee, call it like test waiver.
Okay.
Log in with that attendee and sign the waiver. And then go to Obvio and delete that attendee. And then attempt to download the waivers and see if it's included. It may be.
That's a good idea. I will.
I have something in the back of my head that says that we don't delete waivers. But it needs to be, you need to test it. Do not trust what I'm saying, because this is one of those things that it was a conversation that we would have had 4 years ago. And the fact that it's something is back there saying, I feel like I had a conversation with an attorney from Tony Robbins that said we need waivers for attendees we delete. And I think it's there, but I'm not positive.
And I really, I love Obvio with all my heart, but I really like that now it's so official, because it started not this way, but now they signed, it's the stamp the time because it's an official contract and it actually helped me. So thank you for that. It's great. People should use that waiver. Yeah. Okay, next question. Grant last time talk, and I was stubborn. I didn't even want to hear that part. So now I'm asking because now I'm not stubborn today. So you were talking about just today. Just today. You were talking about the sign up screen, and it wasn't the one, the green room, the direct access link that you just all talked about a few minutes ago. You said there is another way where they don't bypass, because this link that you discussed, all of you guys right now, it's bypassing the dashboard. It's celebration, welcome celebration. They don't need a dashboard. They just go straight. I know that part. But you showed the screen, the sign up page. Yes, Madi, sign up page. How did you do? First of all, where is it exactly? I know it's on the left bar, left hand side, and on top somewhere. And also, I couldn't find the. How did you add phone number?
Okay. Who's going to, Muddy or Blue, show that? This is just the sign up. Yeah. So, yeah.
You want to show Blue or you want me to?
There-ish.
Yep.
How you add phone number is by enabling it first. So first off, where it is, it's right under the login page on design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you enable or disable it. When it's enabled, on the login page, the text that is for sign up will appear. So if it's disabled, the text that's for sign up shows up on the login screen when you're editing, but when you preview it, it goes away because the system knows that the sign up page is not active. So when it's enabled, the page settings button, click on that and toggle on collect phone number. And then you can optionally make phone number required. So you can decide what to do.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. And then they get to the dashboard. They don't bypass it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it is a public page. Like there's no, like if your event is a paid event, just be aware of that.
No. That wouldn't be for paid event. That would be for one-on-one, for example, or something.
Oh yeah.
Not the event.
One-on-one
No.
for free. Yeah. Any of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. And this one, since three of you wizards are here, maybe you can give me an advice. So, okay, I saw this automation problem with they sign up. So I have a network now and people come for a free guest pass and it's one meeting free. And so they come to the Obvio, they start with the landing page, they get that free pass and they sign up in Active Campaign. And then Active Campaign sends everything to Obvio, they show up. And then they sign up through school to be in the network. So Obvio is just like front door. And then I have to change the tag.
The gateway drug.
Gateway drug, yeah. Obvio is amazing. So, and then I have to change the tag because now, so they are guest pass tag they have. And now they need to be a member. And I need to do it because meetings are on Obvio. So is there any way in Active Campaign to change something later, or how would I automate that part? When the first bypass happened or free pass happened, then what? Is there any idea?
I feel like I'm not 100% clear.
Yeah, can you say that again? I didn't track that properly either.
They only get one free session. Is that the idea? You don't want them to get a second free session.
They have one free meeting. Mm-hmm. And then they sign up, but they sign up through school. School doesn't send anything. School is separate part. And I have to do it through school. It's their requirement because I have community on school. But how do I get again, active campaign communicating maybe with Obvio or vice versa or whatever to change them to get to member.
And
So-
is that to make them in a different event, or is that to just change them to member in the current event?
In the current event, because they continue, new people come, but they continue with meetings.
Is it as simple as just adding a member tag?
Well, I do, but I'm thinking for the future, is there any way to automate it? Yeah, do right now. That's what I do manual. I just go there and change.
I see. Got it. And they're signing up on school.
Mm-hmm.
Does school have any integrations? Do they have does school have a does school have a Zapier integration?
Oh, I didn't think about it. I'm sure they do. They have to.
Well-
I should ask. Yeah.
Well, are you
Because
are you updating active campaign when they are a member?
No, that's
I
what
was
she's
so
saying.
far, I was
Not doing that.
updating in Obvio only, but you reminded me that I have to do it in active campaign now.
Mm.
Because before landing page didn't exist. We just brand new here for this one.
Yes.
Now I will be updating everything in active campaign.
So I see inside of Zapier, there's a school app that you can add to your Zapier account, and the action, like the trigger that is available, the triggers that are available for school are number 1, answer to membership question, and number 2, new paid member.
That's the one.
So I think what you need to do is you need to create a Zap when you get a new paid member, and then from Zapier trigger a tag in Active Campaign. And Active Campaign and Obvio will talk to each other through the Active Campaign integration, and they'll get the new member tag in Obvio as a result of doing that. That's probably how I would do it. I wouldn't try and have the Zap update Active Campaign and Obvio. Just let Active Campaign and school talk to each other, and
That's true.
Obvio will come along for the ride.
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's always the single source of truth. Then, if you think about it, that you always want one to be the single source, and so Active Campaign is that. And so, rather than having a train of things happening, you just always go back to that one source, and then everything pulls from that. And of course, you can do things like if someone comes to a free session and then they're not a member and they don't sign up, you could do it where in Obvio you're hiding the button to join the session for someone who has attended and is not a member. The button is not there, right? So so depending on how you track that they have actually come and have not signed up to be a member, then you could have it where you tag them that they've attended a free session, and so if they've attended and they're not a member, then don't show the button on the Obvio dashboard, which means if they followed a link, an old link, they can't get into the session, but they can sign up. And you could have a custom blog post just for them that says, hey, thanks for attending your free session. If you would like to join more sessions, sign up here. And then have them sign. And that could, complete the loop.
So that means I need to make a specific tag that it's attended. But that would be manual. I would have to do it in Obvio, right? That they attended.
Well,
Where
you
would
can
I do
use
it?
Zoom attendance. Zoom
Not really,
attendance
though.
thing, but yeah.
I mean, anyone who's there has attended. So really all you're doing is showing it
Right.
if they do not have a member tag. So if you only have one tag for member, then
Because
the post is
not
visible.
not everybody is there attended, because they sign up, they get the pass, they
And then they get
come,
to
but
come,
they
yeah.
didn't attend, right? I mean, some of them don't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we showed earlier, were you on before when Muddy was showing Zoom attendance?
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah. And so you can do that. So you can say if someone comes for half the session or whatever, you can decide if they were there for 30 minutes or whatever your session is, they have attended, then tag Active Campaign with they've attended. They've attended a free session,
Mm-hmm.
which now means they can't access that again. And then you can, if even if they do follow, you don't have to disable their accounts or anything like that. If they follow a link and get into Ovio, they won't have the link to join the Zoom. Instead, they'll have a special message that says, "Thanks for attending your free session. Sign up here." That's an advanced level move. You may not need to do that necessarily. It's just a matter of, but it depends how many people you have coming through like that.
And the reason I ask about the waiver, because they signed the contract before, because they need to already
Right.
have it. If they pay in the school, there is no contract, but they have to sign the waiver. So they start with the waiver. And then if I delete them, that's a whole interesting story with the waivers. So no waiver. Thank you,
I
Grant.
did-
I'm going to listen to it again.
I
to
did
the
some
video.
Yeah.
testing, and if you delete an attendee, their waiver does not come through when you export waivers. I tried it a couple different times, couple different ways. If an attendee signs a waiver, and then that attendee is deleted, and then you download the waivers, their waiver does not come through in that file. So yes, Blue, it does seem like somehow those waivers are getting deleted when you delete the person.
Could it be a request to not delete waivers?
Well, just disable them, right? As opposed to delete them.
That's right. So did you say, yeah, it doesn't?
That toggle for enable or disable,
Mhm.
just disable them. They can't get into the event, but you don't lose the waiver. You don't lose any information
Yeah,
about them.
that's what I was going to say before. And so you said it wouldn't, if they're deleted, you don't get the waiver, right?
Correct.
That's what I thought it was. And which is the reason we have disable, right? And so, um, it is to keep the whole chain, if that's really important. And lots of people aren't using waivers, and it doesn't really matter. They can delete the attendee, and it doesn't matter. But if it's really important, then you disable the attendee, and now you've still got all their data. Yeah.
And filter. Make sure you filter.
And make sure you filter scheduled. Yeah.
Yeah. And one more
Either
question,
that or
very simple.
they get the message, and that's their reminder to come and sign up again because they've been disabled.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
I
what
know
happens?
someone who does that, right? Like
Yeah.
the people can't get into the event, but they keep getting the reminders because it's like, we want you here. We want you to join, right? You've been here. And so
Right.
anyway,
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the last question is very simple. How do I know it's only in this meeting, not in every meeting in Zoom. How do I enable the waiting room? I found, I mean, I know it's not regular Zoom, it's simple. And I found how to make a sound. It's for one-on-one meetings. I'm using Obvio for everything.
Fair enough.
So where I cannot find it? I found the sound upon entry or leaving, but I couldn't find the button to enable the waiting room.
It is actually the same. It's just that Zoom has moved it, right? So it's
Oh.
not different because it's Obvio. It's just that Zoom has annoyingly moved it. And so I'm just getting it here. So you hit host tools in the bottom. You can't see it at the moment, but
if you are host or co-host.
yeah, that's right. You'll see a button at the bottom that says host tools, and then that used to open a window right in front of you. It now opens a window off to the side in the
Side,
pane, and you've got two options, two toggles there. One is lock meeting, and one is enable waiting room. And so, It's still the same. It's just that it's showing in a slightly different spot now.
Okay, I hope I'll find host tools. Thank you so much. It's been great. Thank you all.
No worries at all. All right, 2 minutes. I've got 5 hours of back-to-back meetings today. Isn't that fun? And I just do a school drop-off in the middle of one. It was fun. Cram it all in before Easter. All right. Anyone else? Any questions? Cat. Well, unless you're waving goodbye. Right. That was a no wave, not a yes wave. Yeah. Cool. Anyone else?
As always, I learned a whole lot today. Whole bunch of
Oh, good.
notes. Thank you very much. You take
Great.
care.
Thank you, Kat. Thanks for coming along, just learning. That's cool.
Same
All
here.
right. All right. Maybe I'll
Thank you
give
so
you
much. Yeah,
I'll
it was
give you
great.
1 minute of time back. And just to say massive thank you to Muddy. Muddy is not paid by Obvio in any way. In fact, quite the opposite. He pays Obvio money to be able to use it, an enterprise account. And so it's very gracious of you to essentially be co-hosting today, and to answer questions so in depth. Yeah, at such depth. So appreciate you, Muddy, very much. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate Muddy tremendously. He knows. By the way, James, is he real? He's a real person right now. You have to ask, is it AI talking
He
to
is
you
real.
or James?
No, he's real.
He's real. If he's
He's a
real,
real
and I
person.
haven't seen him in Leap ever, so I don't know. But he's great. I want you to tell him that he is absolutely great as well. He always answers
Awesome.
questions. Very good. Very, very helpful. Yeah.
That's great. Glad to hear that. All right. Got to run. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.